Hello and welcome back into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, please subscribe. Please subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and the thumbs ups are very much appreciated. All right, today we're going to have fun. Today we're going to have some fun because right now I'm sure there's a lot of anticipation out there in the Knicks world, the Knicks-Verse. The draft. The draft is just hours away. That's right. The 2021 NBA draft is finally at our doorstep. There's only been one trade so far between Memphis and New Orleans. New Orleans traded down, Memphis traded up. They got the 10th pick, and New Orleans was able to offload some salary, and they took on Jonas. I think it's an interesting trade. Not really going to comment much on it, other than it looks like New Orleans traded up so that, Memphis traded up so that they could get Josh Giddey at number 10. But will he be there at number 10? We'll see. All right, this is not a mock draft video. This is not a who Knicks should trade up for video or anything like that at all. This video is about wings, hot wings. Who are the hot wings that the Knicks are looking at in this draft? Whether they trade up, make a big move to trade up, make a little move to trade up, stay where they are, or even possibly trade down. That is actually a possibility. And actually, we do have the 32nd pick, so who knows what will happen. But there's been a lot of speculation about who the Knicks are going to draft. I don't believe that if we draft the point guard, that is a point guard. I think what will happen is if we keep both picks, one of the other picks will be used for a point guard that could develop. Someone to play, come off the bench. Not going to start. Thibs is not going to start a rookie point guard unless it's somebody, in the top end of this draft, like a Suggs or a Cade. And guys, there's some guys have moved way up the draft boards. If you watch my mega mock draft 2.0, you'll see some guys moved way up and some guys dropped, which is really surprising. But this is all about wings because Knicks need wings. We need some 3-and-D guys. We need some shooters. And who's on the radar? Who is on the Knicks radar? That's what we're going to look at. Let's pull this up here. Let's see. My computer's a little slow, so we'll wait to see once it switches over. But one thing to remember is that Bob Myers from Golden State, he has said that right now it's looking kind of difficult to trade up above them. And they're not willing to trade down, apparently. They turned down the Knicks offer of 1921 for the 14th pick. And it makes sense. It's still early. You know what? They're probably still trying to figure out what they can get because I think they want to make a move up. They kind of have a similar need that the Knicks do, just to a greater degree, should I say, because they have elements together. And I think if they want to acquire a player, they want him to be able to contribute right away. So they're looking at, trying to move up the draft themselves to get higher. Maybe they want to get up into the top 4, top 5. We'll see. But right now we know that the Knicks are interested in trading up into the low teens because they've identified a player that they like, that they think will go in that range. And again, check out the Mega Mock Draft video so you can see what that range might be. So here, you see this graphic? This is the Knicks Hot Wings radar. The areas are basically, we kind of start in the outer rim. The outer rim is the trade down scenarios. These are people that might be there, that might make sense for them to trade down, or they don't necessarily have to trade down, but they're just not going to trade up. They can they could trade down a little bit, kind of like what we did last season. And we ended up trading down from the 23rd pick to the 25th to get Quickly. So we'll see. Then there's the stay zone, which is the picks that we have, the 19 and 21. This is the mini move up zone. So this is like, let's say it's the 17th, the 16th pick, even the 18th pick. Maybe they kind of do a little something to trade up there to get those guys. The next one is the big trade up. Now that's usually for, somewhere in the lottery, maybe even a little higher than the low teens. So maybe even like the 11th pick, 12th pick, 13th pick, even the 9th pick. I believe even Sacramento, Orlando, and Indiana are possibility for trade-up partners. So let's see, who is the first player that is on the Knicks Hot Wings radar? It's none other than Moses Moody. That's right, the wing from Arkansas. He is the prototypical 3-and-D guy. He's only 19 years old. Tremendous player, tremendous upside. The Knicks would have to trade up, I think at this point, pretty high up to get him. He is mocking somewhere within 8 to 13. The next guy is the other guy that I love. If you've seen any of the draft trade videos, you know it is Corey Kispert, the best pure shooter in the draft. I believe actually Cade Cunningham is pretty much equal to him, I think, in shooting, though it's not really talked about as much. But Corey Kispert, tremendous shooter. I think, let's say he's up in 13th. Maybe the Knicks can make a trade with Indiana to get him. I totally would be in favor of that. Now, the next guy is someone who's really interesting as well, Keon Johnson, because he is actually right now tumbling down the draft. I think it turns out that he's shorter than they had originally thought. He's 6'3.5". But man, his athleticism is real. His raw talent is real. He might be someone that the Knicks look at and say, you know what? He's worth the gamble. Now, he falls outside the parameters of minimize risk and maximize picks. Well, not so much. He's kind of on the edge of that because in a way, if you look at it this way, hey, if we can get the player that we feel has the highest upside and all we need to do is move up a couple slots up the draft to get him, then I think it's a smart move. The next guy is the other Johnson, the Johnson from Duke, Jalen. He's interesting. He actually might be there at 19. So you can see his little outer circle is just touching the stay sphere. I think he's someone that I think he's in play. He is a prototypical wing. Apparently he has tremendous skills up and down. There's just other issues with him, but the Knicks may feel that he's worth a gamble, and I would be fine with that, especially at 19. The next guy is someone who's very, very hot right now. He's soaring up the mock drafts, Trey Murphy III, but his range is pretty big right now. But I think he actually might be there at 19, maybe even at 21. There's a possibility because there's guys that are soaring up as well. Guys like Book Knight are climbing, Giddey, as we've talked about. So Trey Murphy, he's a prototypical wing. Unfortunately, he doesn't have as much of a handle. He actually doesn't, from what I've seen, doesn't have a handle, though I've read that he actually does, and he's working on it. So we'll see. But he would be a really nice get. The next guy is Chris Duarte. Love him. Knicks could not go wrong. If he's there at 19, get him. I'm not sure. He might even be the guy that they said in the low teens that they'd be willing to trade up for. So if he's the guy, then he's the guy. Go for it. I love him. Who else is on this radar? Next is Ziaire Williams. Ziaire Williams is a player with tremendous upside. The eye test of his shot stroke is so high. I mean, he has such a beautiful stroke. Unfortunately, the stats don't back it up. I've talked about it before. He went through some issues at Stanford. The pandemic was rough on him. He might be someone who kind of just slips through the cracks because he underperformed last season for his actual skills and ability. So he's someone that, if the Knicks are happy with who they got at 19 and he's there at 21, go for it. Or if they just feel like this guy, he's the steal of the draft and he's there at 19, then grab him. I'd be happy with that too. The next guy is Quentin Grimes. He's one of my favorite players. He had a tremendous combine in win shares for NCAA Division I. He was one of only 2 players to finish in the top 10 in both offensive win shares and defensive win shares. Really nice. I think the other one was Evan Mobley. Next is Joe Wieskamp. Next and last, 9th. For the 32nd pick, he would be tremendous to bring in. Now, the thing, I have him here for trade down because I'm not sure the Knicks are going to go with 3 draft picks. So they may trade away the 21st, and then they have the 32nd pick, and they grab him there. He would be awesome. He's a wing. He can shoot. He has a really high release. He's long. I love his game. I think this guy, he also had a really good combine. I think he at 32nd, or even, let's say the Knicks did trade down. They traded down from 22 to 28 or something. Because I know Denver wants to trade up. I think Denver has 26. So let's say we get him at 26. Like him for that. All right, well, there you have it. That is the Hot Wings radar for the New York Knicks. All right, so there you go. These are the 9. These are the 9 wings that the Knicks are looking at, and some of them they should be looking at. I think, I don't know, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I know I've left a few people. I think there's a guy from Alabama, everything, Herb Jones? I can't remember his name, but there's a couple of guys that I left off here that were pretty nice, but you know what? I think they're going to be there, if they like around the 32nd pick, depending on what the Knicks do. I'm so excited, though. I can't wait. Oh, man. This is going to be fun. I'm excited. I have a lot of confidence that Leon's going to do the right moves. And, again, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe, turn on the bell, the thumbs ups, and draft day is coming. All right. See you guys around the Knicks-Verse.